In a time long forgotten when the world was still young, there existed a great kingdom. It was a place of beauty and prosperity, where the people lived in harmony with the gods and nature. But, as often happens in stories of old, pride and arrogance began to take root in the hearts of men. The people of this kingdom believed they no longer needed the gods, their creators. They built great cities, towering monuments and palaces of gold, proclaiming themselves as masters of the earth and sky. With each passing year they grew more reckless, abandoning the sacred rituals and turning their backs on the ancient wisdom of the divine. One day the gods, who had watched in silence for centuries, convened among the clouds. They were saddened by the arrogance of mankind, but even more so by their disregard for the balance of the world. And so the decision was made. A warning was sent to the earth through whispers on the wind, but the people did not listen. Storyteller, slightly louder. It was then that the gods summoned the waters. The rains began. At first a gentle drizzle, then a steady downpour. Rivers swelled, lakes overflowed, and soon the earth was covered in a torrent that showed no signs of stopping. The great kingdom that had once stood as a symbol of human achievement was now drowning beneath an endless sea. The people cried out, but their voices were drowned in the deluge, sound of distant rain and thunder growing louder. Amidst the chaos, there was one man. His name was Oros, a humble farmer who had always revered the gods. He had heard their whispers, the warning in the wind, and had prepared. Oros had built a sturdy wooden ship with his hands, guided by dreams sent by the gods. When the flood came, Oros and his family were ready. As the waters rose higher, Oros's ship was lifted into the stormy skies. He looked out across the endless sea, where once there had been villages and forests, now only waves crashing under a dark, thunderous sky. Days turned into weeks, and Oros, his family and the animals they had gathered, floated upon the waters, praying for deliverance. Pause, the storm begins to fade. And then one morning, after what seemed like an eternity, the rains stopped, the skies cleared, and a single ray of sunlight pierced the dark clouds. Oros, hopeful but weary, sent out a dove from the ship. The bird flew across the horizon until it was out of sight. Hours later, the dove returned, holding in its beak an olive branch, a symbol of life, hope, and new beginnings. The waters began to recede, revealing the land once again. The ship came to rest on the top of a mountain, and Oros and his family stepped out onto dry land. They knelt and gave thanks to the gods for sparing them, vowing never to forget the balance that had been restored. The earth had been cleansed, and a new era began. It is said that the descendants of Oros spread across the world, carrying with them the memory of the Great Flood. To this day, stories of the flood are told in many lands, each with its own version, but the lesson remains the same. The earth, the gods, and humanity must always remain in harmony. The storyteller smiles and steps back into the shadows as the music swells, fading to silence.